Tonight, two environmental agencies are at odds over pollution violations in a Twin Cities neighborhood. The EPA says that Smith Foundry in South Minneapolis violated the Clean Air Act, but the Minnesota Pollution Control Agency questions its methods. Neighbors say they have raised health concerns about the factory for years. WCCO investigative reporter Jennifer Merrily went to the MPCA to try and get answers.
Smith Foundry is the source of community outrage following an unannounced inspection by the Environmental Protection Agency. It discovered air pollution violations along with other problems that could endanger human health or the environment. WCCO took the concerns to the Minnesota Pollution Control Agency.
They are required to meet and comply with their permit requirements and with Minnesota rules to ensure that their emissions are not causing any problems for a neighborhood or for the environment around them.
Has that been happening?
To the information that we have, to the best of our knowledge, it has been happening.
Frank Kolash is MPCA's Assistant Commissioner of Air and Climate Policy.
We are not seeing any violations of a state or federal air quality standard from this facility.
The state says it's monitored air quality from 11 blocks away since 2001. We're told it's conducted other air monitoring at various times since then, but its last actual regular inspection was 5 years ago.
It seems concerning to me that you wouldn't have done an inspection since 2018. That's a lot of years.
We do have limited inspection resources available to us. We negotiate with EPA about how we're going to deploy those inspection resources.
8 inspectors for 2,000 plus permitted companies. It raises questions about the frequency of inspections and if the state is asking for enough information to find a problem. The state relies on self-reporting. The MPCA says the EPA requested additional data for their report, finding since 2018, Smith Foundry was emitting roughly twice the allowed amount of particulate pollution. The EPA says that can cause things like coughing, difficulty breathing, asthma, chronic bronchitis, irregular heartbeats, non-fatal heart attacks, and more. The EPA and MPCA knew about the notice of violations months before the community learned about them.
Why aren't there more answers right now?
That's a great question, and we know that it's a challenging situation to be in.
Kolash says the information generally stays confidential until the company has a chance to respond, and there are more definitive answers.
It honestly feels like there's more leeway given to the company than the community, that the company has all this time to go back and forth, but the community is left in the dark during that time.
That is a challenge with the system, and it is the way that the system is set up.
That's what I'm asking. Should the system change?
That is a great question. I think it's beyond my ability to respond now.
The looming question, what was the East Phillips community exposed to and for how long? Ultimately, Kolash says MPCA is not able to replicate the emission violations found by the EPA.
We would be concerned if somebody is emitting more pollution than is allowed in their permit. That would be concerning to us. Right now, we just can't validate what EPA has in their notice.
Jennifer Merrily, WCCO News.
The EPA told WCCO it stands by its report and will keep working with the state and Smith Foundry. The MPCA says that the factory's new permit will be stricter, requiring new controls and an annual community meeting. And you can learn more at a community meeting next Monday at 5:30 at the Phillips Community Center. The EPA and representatives from Smith Foundry are also expected to be there.